is going on, guys? Glad to be with you today. We're getting ready to share our beach hunt that we did yesterday. So I want you guys to come along for the hunt. Also, stay tuned for after the hunt's over with, and you're going to see the settings that I was using on this beach hunt for the Nokta Legend. So we're going to be using the Nokta Legend today. We're going to be running MultiWet. We're going to be using pitch tones, and it's going to be a lot of fun. The Legend is a great machine. If you haven't checked it out, you really do need to. Great price point at that $500 range. Excellent machine. So check out the Legend. Check out the video. And if you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. Stay tuned for the end of the video because you will see the settings that I was using, and maybe you would like to set your machine up very similar to that with some adjustments for your beaches. But anyway, stay tuned. Here comes the video. Enjoy the hunt, and I will catch you guys real soon on my next adventure.
Hi guys, out here with the Legend today. We got us a 38 right here. Probably a penny, maybe not. Let's see what we get here. $38, solid 38 too. We're running MultiWet. Think we got it out. And let's see what we get here. Huh? There we go, we got it. And it is ye old crusty penny. Woo, the waves are coming up. There we go, got us a penny. Start our day, 38. On the Nokta Macro Legend down at the beach. Seeing what we can find. Okay, got a 34 here, 35. See what we get. 34, 35 right here in the dry sand. Got it out. And what? Right there. And somebody lost their room key. So we got us a room key. Straight off the beach. 35, 34. Looks like it's an old one too. Okay. Y'all saw it, the Legend MultiWet. Using pitch tones. And digging some targets. But there you go. Old room key. Straight off the beach. Nokta Legend. Got us a 45 here. See what we get. Still a 45. 45. Missed it a little bit, so it's like. $46. What we got? Anything? So it's got a little bit of iron with it. Yeah, somewhere in here. Is that it? Is that it? That's it right there. Got us a nice dime coming in at a 45. Was hitting on that pretty good, pretty loud too. 45. We had a 46, 47, and we got us an old one here. Looks like an old. It's an old dime or penny. It's an old penny. Got all that green on it. It's been out here for a while. Okay, old penny, 47. Had a little iron buzz to it though with that corrosion on it. Anyway, we'll take it. Got a 34, 35, 33 right here. Using the MultiWet program on the Nokta Legend. We're up in the dry sand at this point. Let's see what comes out of here. It's right there in the front. We missed it. Should be it right there. Ah, 38, 37 now. Huh. Interesting. $42 now. It keeps going up. Okay. Got a 34. I think that's, no. Where is it at? 34. And it is the old dreaded pull tab. Not the Legend with a 25, 26. Oh, and it's a loud one. 25, 26. Huh. Let's see what that's gonna be. Oh, we missed it. Is that it right there? Wait a minute, is that it? I think I see it. What is it? Sure is. It is the old nickel. 25, 26. It hit that nickel pretty strong. Loves a nickel. 25, 26. Not that deep. Hit it pretty good using MultiWet. This Legend's a good little machine out on this beach. 43. Here could be a penny. Could be a ring. You never know. Legend's hitting on it pretty good. Huh. Got a little iron sound to it. Those pennies though, when they get really corroded, sometimes they'll give off that signal with a little bit of iron to it. That's what it is. 42. Okay. We got it out. It's a 44 now. And it is a big old fishing weight. Solid fishing weight. Pretty common. Let's give it off a good signal, but the Legend wasn't lying to us. It told us there was a little bit of iron mixed in with there, and it's got a little iron piece on top. There you go, fishing weight. We got something over here. 23, 24. That's an interesting one. Let's hope it's not a bottle cap. Well, it wasn't a bottle cap. Piece of trash. 23, 24. Legend sniffed that little piece out. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Old Legend doing the work. Just opened up this hole. We had a loud signal ringing in at a 50, and we got us a quarter. This one's been out here a while. Nice old quarter. That thing was screaming too. Listen to this. 50-51 on a quarter. It's been out here a while. Look at that patina on that thing from being out here. Okay, let's keep on going. The legend's finding some coins. No jewelry, no gold. But it's definitely hitting on these coins really solid. So again, it's winter time. A lot of these beaches are sanding in. We're using MultiWet. We'll talk about the settings later on, what I was using today. If you guys are interested in using it, works pretty good here on my beach. So maybe it'll work good on yours. Okay guys, we got 23-22 here. Let's see what we get. This could be a piece of trash. Could be a ring. Never know. 23, solid. Let's see here. Looks like we got us a ring. We sure do. Got us a little piece of jewelry. Of course, we know what kind of ring this is. It's a junker. Still a ring. 23-24. Nice little pink stone. But we got us a ring. Right down here on the beach. Not to legend. Sniffed out a target. You were using MultiWet. We're running pitch tones, which you guys can hear it. And we got our recovery speed at 5 on the Nokta Legend today. And that recovery being a little bit fast, I think is helping. Of course, it's got good depth too. I've seen a couple of these targets have been deep that I've been digging today, but again, even though it's a junker, it's always nice to see some sort of jewelry come flying out of the ground. So we'll take that. Okay, catch you guys real soon. It's not the legend. It's doing great today on the beach after the major storm that we've had this past weekend. So finding a lot of targets. All right, okay. We got a target right here. It's like somebody was, hopefully they didn't bury a can here, because it looks like somebody buried something here. Ah, I see what it is. It's a big old fishing weight.
Okay, let's look at the beach program that I was using yesterday. So this program is based off of MultiWet, which you see here. I'm in the beach setting, beach program, which is up at the top. I'm using MultiWet, which you see here over on the left-hand side. I've got my sensitivity turned down because we're inside, but you can adjust your sensitivity accordingly and so on. But just wanted to walk you through some of the settings that I used out on the beach for this last hunt. And you know, it works on my beach. It may not work on yours, but you can give this a shot. Just wanted to share the settings that I use. So let's take a look and dive into those settings real quick. If we hit our little cogwheel menu button down here in the bottom, we're going to see our little icons show up. And of course, you can do your frequency shift first, and then we would go over to our recovery speed. So once we get to recovery, I generally run mine anywhere from 4 to 6. If I'm sort of hunting for deeper targets, I'll run it a little bit lower. Hunting a little bit with maybe some more trash that I'm dealing with, then I would go up in recovery to 5 or 6. But generally that's where I stay, somewhere between 4 and 6. You can adjust this accordingly. If you hit the pinpoint button down at the bottom down here, you hit the pinpoint button, you get your iron filter. I don't have a lot of iron on my beach, so normally I'll run that right around 2. If I go over to my stability setting, I usually run it between 4 and 5. I've got it set on 5, which was what I was using yesterday. It seems to run pretty good running at 5. My bottle cap reject, I like running my machine a little open. This machine does a great job of recognizing those bottle caps, so I will run it at 1 or 2. Generally, I stay in that range. You can adjust this setting accordingly as well. So that's it for that. Ground suppressor, I set at 0 as the default setting. So that is the settings that I'm using there for the recovery and the iron filter, the stability, and the ground suppressor and bottle cap reject. So those were the settings for those. So if we back out of this and we go to our next one, is our volume. I tend to run the volume at 5. My audio gain, I will run it at 5. It goes all the way up to 6. But to hear those real faint targets, you might have to run the audio gain up. So 5 or 4 is generally where I'll run the audio gain. You can adjust that accordingly, and you'll see that we're on audio gain with the AG on the side. So next we will go to our tones, and the tones that I'm using is going to be, we are going to be using, let's go back over here to our tones, and when we get to our tone segments, you'll see we got the little musical note with 1, 2, 3 beside it, but I run pitch tones. You can also run 60 tones, you can run 6, you can run 4, you can run 2, or you can run 1. So you can run the tones however you choose. I'm running pitch. I like pitch. That's what I'm used to with some of my other machines, with my Deus 2. And I like running pitch. So the audio tones that I'm using is going to be pitch. So if we back out of that, and we go up to our next one, that is going to be our volume. So pitch is divided into 2 segments. So you can adjust those segments however you choose. Let's go back over, excuse me. So you can adjust those segments however you choose. So the first segment I've got set at a very low volume. If you don't want to hear it at 3, you could bump it down to 2 or 1. Either one would be good. I left it at default, which is set at 3. If you go over to the second segment, I've left it all the way up with a max volume of 10, and that's by default as well. So those are your tone volumes. You'll know that you're in that screen. If you look here, you will see the musical note with the speaker beside it, and that lets you know that you are adjusting the tone volume. So let's scroll over to our next setting, which is going to be, let's back out of this. We go over to our next setting, which is going to be our pitch for the tone. So the different tone segments, you can adjust the pitch to make those things sound really, really high or really, really low. So they're going to have that real high pitch sound or that real low pitch sound. In this case, since we are running pitch, you can adjust your segments just like you did with the volume. You got that first segment, which is 1 through 10 here. We've got it set up at a very low pitch, so it's going to have that grunt sound to it. If you go over to the second segment, you'll notice that I've got it set at 28, which is pretty high pitch sound. So you're going to be able to hear that, and you're going to stop in your tracks when you do hear that. So that sets up the tone pitch for the different segments there on this setting. So let's back out and let's go to our next one, which would be our tone break. And you can set this up wherever you like. The tone break by default is set at 10, but if you need to run it up because something's driving you crazy on your beats, you could run it up just simply by hitting the plus or the minus button, and that will set up your tone break using the pitch option. So again, you could run it to whatever you want and knock out some of those targets that are driving you crazy. But that is the tone break section of this program. So we go back over to our next one, which is going to be our threshold. So when we get to threshold, you can run that little low hum if you choose. Y'all hear it? Turn it up as loud as you want, or you can turn it down. I run it sometimes when I'm on the beach, just to let me know my machine's running, but it's also great for sort of breaking up some of those targets and giving you that sort of break in that hum. And when you hear that, that will let you know, especially on some deep targets, it'll let you know that there's something there and you need to stop. So again, that is the threshold for this program. I generally run mine off. But if you do want to run it, you can. Totally up to you as far as the threshold. And then the last one over here is the threshold pitch frequency. So you can change how this actually sounds for the hum. So that is what that is doing. It's adjusting the threshold pitch there. So that's pretty much this program and what I was using on the beach. Really makes these targets stand out and pop. It's a dig, not dig, basically type of program. And using MultiWet, I think it runs very well. Again, you'll notice you're in MultiWet with the M and the W. I usually run MultiWet. I usually turn on all metal too. So I run an all metal MultiWet, and that's generally how I go with this program. So hopefully that helps someone, and just wanted to share those settings with you and give them a shot. If you like them, that's great. If you don't, no harm, no foul. But that's what I was running today with the Legend. Legend's a great machine, does excellent on the beach. Really like this machine as a beach machine. It really performs very, very well. And I'm going to be using it on a few more occasions too as I head out to the beach. And we're going to be maybe doing some relic hunts with it too. We've got some other coils and things that we want to try with this machine, and sort of going through and giving you guys a good feel for what this machine's capable of. But again, at the price point that it's at, you can't lose. It's got tons of features, and again, I've enjoyed swinging it. Great machine, and I think you guys will enjoy it too. Again, if you haven't already, please hit that like and subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and we will catch you guys on our next adventure. See you soon.